Liam, it's great to have you, man. It was great to see you down at Tim's, and man, I got to tell you a story. After we had breakfast with Minnie and yourself, I interviewed Minnie, and I done this great tribute for Tim.
Yeah.
How he's been the greatest connector.
Oh, isn't he?
And you know, like we know he's been through a rough patch with his wife, losing his wife, and both his boys are here, and I love his boys, and it shows you, you know, like I've been doing this for a long time, Liam, and you know, what I realise is how much fathers and their sons and men in general need a place to go to, you know, and I just want to thank Tim for introducing us, but mate, I've heard a lot about you before you came on here, and obviously you played your first junior rugby league team was Manly, a team that I go for. So
is that your team? Is that really?
It's my team, but yeah, you killed me when you left because they touted you as the next sort of Hargraves back then.
Yeah, there's a bit of carry on back then,
I mean?
but
was it too much of a carry on?
Bit of carry on.
A lot of pressure.
A lot going on. Yeah, he was obviously a pretty outstanding player. I did hear that when I was younger. I didn't think I was a young Hargraves. I had a good junior career. I love Manly. To be honest, one of the things I regret was leaving Manly at that time. Yeah. But yeah, you know,
it's not easy, is it? Like managing a roster with, you know, obviously the salary cap. You know, you were there when Trent Barrett was there. Yeah. When you're at a club like that, how do you? What's your vision? Like, what do you think? I'm going to be a 10-year player here. What was going through your mind at the time?
Yeah, I never really wanted to leave Manly. I love Manly. I had like some good mates I come up with. You know, I played Harold Martz, SG Ball under 20s. We had a couple successful years at back end of 20s. I sort of just got taken up. I got an offer from the Roosters, a 3-year deal from the Roosters, and they were one of those clubs at the time, you know, always successful, the Glitter Club. And I was 21. I was probably chasing a few dollars and got a bit caught up in the hype of it all. And I probably wouldn't have changed the decision. Like at the time, 21, you know, just did what I did. But looking back, it was one of those things that I probably wasn't ready for, and I wish I stayed at Manly.
Wow. Yeah. So was there a big difference in what you were going to get at the Roosters to make that change?
Yeah, it was different in the sense, like I had such a strong network at Manly, and as a young kid with not a lot of role models in my life, when I left that, I didn't quite understand. At the time, I was looking at the, you know, the silver lining, the money, and the club I was going to, and I just sort of jumped pretty quickly. And then when I got out of that environment to a completely new environment, obviously everything's new, coaches, people, didn't really know anyone. I struggled a little bit mentally, like I didn't expect that. I was just like, you know, it's rugby league, everything's the same kind of thing. So that was back then, yeah.
Yeah. You know, as a player, like obviously there's, you know, you got managers. You're 21 years old, and like sometimes you see in the media, you know, the managers do what the players ask for. For you, what was going through your mind? Like you said, you didn't probably have the support network that you needed. Is that a big thing in rugby league? Like there's managers and there's a lot of programs now in rugby league. What was the support network at the time? Why did you sort of struggle or
well, my manager's always been good for me, but you know, like parental figures weren't like no parents in the picture for me. Like I wasn't really.
Your parents are in Alice Springs, or?
Nah, my dad's around, not really present in my life. Yeah. And my mum passed young, so I didn't have those parental, like, you know, guiding things around. Yeah. I think the game's come a long way with the RLPA and other welfares, you know, upgraded and that kind of stuff. So it's provided the extra layer for players. But I think back then for myself, I just didn't handle it. I was got a bit lost in that world. Got a bit ahead of myself, big ego too. Like I'm also like, I just thought I was killing it. You know, everyone's giving me, you know, patting me on the back, and I thought I was the man, and I got lost in the whole smoke and mirrors of it all. Off the field, I wasn't probably doing the right thing, and you know, got a bit carried away in the eastern suburbs, as you do. Like
it's one of the worst.
Yeah, so
it's a great area.
Yeah,
but there's
it's amazing.
There's too much for the senses for a young man.
For sure, and I got lost in that quick. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not. I just started making some bad choices, and I wasn't performing on the field because I wasn't doing the right thing off the field, and I wasn't my best self for the Roosters, and that's a big regret of mine because, you know, great club, could have had a lot of opportunity there. I learned the hard way that things can go as fast as they can appear. Had a tough conversation with Robbo when I was there.
Yeah.
And then
what was that like?
Man, it was pretty hectic because, like I said, I don't know, when you're young, you just think you got chances, and you probably at the time I didn't think I was going as bad as what I was going, but obviously everyone sees things before you see them. I had a conversation with Robbo. He just said to me, mate, there's no future for you at this club. I just don't trust you as a player, kind of thing like that. Wow. And that was like, then everything was like, you know, laid out mentally. I like when I zoomed out, heard that, it, you know, shook me like inside. So I went, oh shit, yeah, I've been doing this. I haven't been, you know, I've sort of fell away from all the things that got me to that level of as a junior and got me signed to the Roosters and stuff. So that was a big wake up call. And from there, man, I ended up in Canberra.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, a couple of weeks, like a week too later, I was waking up in Canberra. It was -6 degrees, and I was just thinking, like, you know, in all respect to Canberra, I was just like, mate, what have I done? Like, I was living in the east, you know. I was, went from the northern beaches to the eastern suburbs to Canberra, freezing cold. Like, how did
big culture shock?
Massive culture shock, yeah. And also, like, obviously, I had this vision of the Sydney Roosters and whatever was going to be there, and it just like everything, I just changed really quick. So,
what did you learn in Canberra when you got there?
I just learned.
There would have been a lot of time to reflect.
A lot of time to reflect, a lot of time by myself. I just sort of, I got better habits again, you know, like I stopped drinking I stopped partying, I stopped doing dumb things away from the field. I focused on footy again because that was the only thing to do, really. Like, it's not heaps to do in Canberra, you know, get around the boys, play golf and you train hard. And I just sort of, you know, refired those good habits and, you know, the strengths that got me to where I was at the time.
Yeah.
Train hard, rip in, recover. Train hard, rip in, recover. Rinse, repeat.
And like you were just off camera before when you started doing Pilates. Was that some of the modalities that you started to pick up in Canberra, or did that come later on?
We did a little bit in Canberra, and at the time I don't think I enjoyed it. I didn't see the merit. Back then I was like, I want to lift weights and get strong and all that kind of stuff. And then you grow up a little bit, you see like, you know, get a couple of injuries and you see people, you know, falling apart a little bit. And then you understand the importance and of Pilates that I love. Yeah.
And you know, in rugby league, one thing I've noticed is what you put on off the field and those extras that you do, they're extremely important.
100%.
You know, you're in Canberra, and then obviously from Canberra, how long were you in Canberra for?
18 months.
18 months, and then you made your way over to South.
Yeah, South, yeah.
So it's safe to say you've experienced a lot of different, you know, way rugby league teams have been run.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, going to all those different clubs. What was it like? What was the big change from the Canberra to South Sydney? What did you learn there? Because in that process, there's a lot to learn as well.
For sure. The biggest thing I learnt when coming to South, I saw people. Well, I met Wayne, and Wayne was. I just related a lot more to Wayne. Like, I didn't really click with Ricky. Like, nothing personal. I don't know. Like, saw he's good coach in his own right, but I didn't have that relationship with him, and I immediately had that with Wayne. Wayne just sort of said, mate. He said to me, look me in the eyes on the first meeting, he said, mate, I know you've had some shit going on in your life and your career. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm here for you, but like, leave that shit at the door. What you do next is what matters most. I got you back until you fuck that up. So like, it's all on you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it just sort of hit me in a really weird way, like a profound, I've always admired Wayne, like my whole career, obviously, you hear about Wayne Bennett. And then I'm sitting in front of him, I got you, you know, like, and it just felt like, I don't know, bit of a weight off, more pressure on, but more weight off. I was just like, I want to do this for myself as well, but I want to play for you.
Yeah.
And then I saw people like Sam Train, Sutto, you know, the Burgess boys are flying. I was just in an environment where I thrived off the field. Everyone was getting along in a different way. Personalities matched, everything clicked, and then it all sort of it felt like it ran downhill from there. I was just so happy. It was, just training standards were different.
Yeah. And it, like, to get to that next level or to be who you need to be, how important is it for a coach like that to understand you? Because, you know, it's not easy for someone to say, listen, leave that out the door. We're just focused on this. Was it like a new, fresh beginning for you?
Yeah, for sure.
And it was the begining you probably needed? Yeah,
it was a fresh start. You know, I had played a few games at Canberra, didn't really get a role on there. But Wayne just said, when he said he backed me, along with Sammy Burgess, he sort of just went, mate, like, I don't know, he felt like, I don't know why, or at the time, or whatever it was, he just sort of took me under his wing and, like, this is what we do, kind of thing. There's no other option. And I watched him train, and I just went, oh, shit, this is how, like, the elite, like, he was, like, the epitome of a front rower, you know, everyone, I always looked up to him as a player. So, like, this is how he trains every day. I'm like, and he's keeping everyone accountable. So from that, he's like, I obviously got to raise your standards, and you either rise or you fall away. And that was the environment I needed at the time, and everyone was on the same page, and it was just like perfect for me.
And then I guess you went to the Bulldogs probably at a point where they were rebuilding as well.
Yeah.
So they were trying to find themselves out. You know, we just talked off camera, just their training techniques and their styles and their programs. What was that like an eye opener for you to just see how they're training at the moment? And was that a lot of the stuff that he brought over from Penrith?
Yeah, I think all the stuff that the Dogs are doing now was what Serraldo had started at Penrith, defensively at least. I don't know, obviously that was his expertise. The system, the attention to detail, the intensity, the mindset, along with, have you heard of Trav Toomer?
I've heard of that.
He used to be head of performance at the Roosters.
Roosters, yeah.
Unbelievable. Mate, best.
It's got with the shaved head, right?
Yeah, animal. Best guy. Great, like the best, I don't know, probably the best in the game, I'd say.
Yeah.
Everyone trains hard, every team gets flogged and it's hard, but he added that extra layer of mindset behind it. So like we never had a day, there was no lull. There was always more and more and more, and he just did it in a way where, I don't know, people sort of fall away, every day was just like on, and the training was hectic. It's the hardest preseason I've ever done.
Yeah, wow.
And I'd come off a couple preseasons where I'd missed all preseason with injuries, knee reco. So I'd never done a full preseason in probably 3 years up to that point. Straight in that, and I was like, I forgot. Obviously, preseasons are always hard, like I said, but that preseason was next level. Man.
Wow,
it was hectic.
And during that time at the Bulldogs, you started a podcast with Toby, right? As well.
I did that at South. I started at South. Yeah, when I was at
Wayne
South.
said all good, kosher, you can go for it.
It was JD at that point. It was my last. I was at South 5 years. I was like the last. Was like 23 or 22. I started that podcast.
Oh, so
Toby.
Jason Dimitri.
Yeah, Jason was. Yeah, Toby was at the Sharks. Obviously, it was all good. It was good fun.
How many episodes did you get into?
I think we did 16.
Yeah.
17. We did one with the best one we did was the one we haven't even released. We never released. We stopped doing it after that.
Really?
Yeah, Nico Hines.
Will it ever come out?
I might put it out. Yeah, to be continued. I think Nico was going through a bit of media pressure at the time. He's like, can we put that on ice for a little bit? I'm like, yeah, sweet.
Oh, so he's had interviewed Nico.
Yeah, we did a mad. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
I've known Nico for since I was about 16. We played all like juniors together. So we had all these mad stories.
Because he was at Manly, right?
Yeah, he's Manly.
He played right from Manly.
He had an interesting journey, coming back to rugby league. It was cool. It was a sick one. But we still got it somewhere. I'm not sure where it is.
So that'll be on the next season 2.
Yeah, season 2 if it ever comes back to light. Yeah, if ever anyone lets us in front of microphones again.
Look, if your career's over.
Yeah.
That was the thing. No one can say anything at that point.
We had to toe the line a little bit, It was a bit, pretty loose character, Toby. And
it's a little hard, isn't it? Like when you're playing rugby league, there's you can't.
You gotta be careful about what you say, and there's obviously people out there, sponsors, kids involved. You don't want to bring the game into disrepute. As they say.
The way you said it is like, fuck those rules, mates.
Oh mate, seriously, like what we wanted to say and what we did say was obviously like you do. Like,
look, I
pretty rogue.
I try and tone my swearing down on this show. I said it once there, but I was having a meeting the other day and they were using AI and they go, Mets, you've done it 20 times in this meeting. I go, listen, that's passion, boys.
Yeah, that's my...
Just relax and go.
I don't know.
Huddle the team
if you're offended by a swear word, I think you got bigger problems.
100%.
I think
100%.
I'm passionate. I'm not trying to be offensive.
It's more than passion.
Yeah, right? I'm like, I just say things. I'm not like, unless you're dropping C-bombs every third word or whatever, mate,
that's fair
probably
enough.
Develop a bigger vocabulary, but F this, I'm passionate. I want to, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not offended by much. I don't know how it works.
Look, I think when you're in a huddle with your team, you're using those words to just go push the team more. You know what I mean?
100%.
So when I said at the end, I started laughing. I go, look, boys, we got the job done, yeah?
Yeah.
And we've done it for this purpose.
Yeah.
And I go, but I don't want to do that around the members and all that. But
it comes out though. It
does come out.
It is.
I grew up. I came from Redfern, East Lakes, Rockdale, so that was my junior footy up mascot. So I'm quite accustomed to it. But one of the biggest moves that you made was go to Hull FC. Which is, I think every NRL player should see Europe and go see England and see what Europe has to offer. I think if you're in a position to do it, I think rugby league players should definitely do it. I was just in Europe. It's an amazing place.
It's incredible.
It's something that it's great to experience. What's that experience been like? Because that's just been recent, right?
Man, that was massive. I thought I was done, to be honest, footy-wise. Yeah. When I finished at the Dogs, didn't have exactly the most successful year. I was sort of rebuilding a bit from a previous injury, and I didn't quite hit the form I was after until probably back end of the year. It was probably too late. Then I had a deal lined up, and that sort of fell through, and everything I thought my career was over. Yeah. I kept training, and then by myself for months, and then I got a call like end of February. Would you come to Hull? I was like, yeah, for sure. 3 days later, I was on a plane.
Wow.
To Hull. And I was literally 3 days away from announcing my retirement. I called the old South guy, my mate at South, a media manager, and I was like, can I get a few photos, videos? I'll put a thing up and just, I want to step away, but I'll publicly retire and do whatever I'm going to do next. 3 days later, I get a call. And then another 3 days after that, I was on a plane.
Wow.
No preseason, bang, straight in. Did a 1.2 day one.
Wow.
Mate, like jet lagged, freezing. Like it was, straight into the deep end. Yeah. And that was just, my girlfriend stayed here. Obviously, she couldn't come.
Well, it was all over the news.
Yeah, exactly. It was wild, mate. So everything just happened like that. Obviously, didn't even get a chance to think about it. I just had to pack, and I was on a plane, and then I was on the plane like, what the fuck's going on, mate? I'm going to England. Like, first couple of weeks in England, like, what have I done? Like, is this the right decision? Like, I'm jet lagged, it's dark, it's cold. I'm like... It was just a whirlwind. Obviously training, not that fit. I'm done a pre-season. I've been training, like just getting the reps in and stuff. And then so I didn't play the first week. I was too jet lagged, and then played the week after off the bench. Played the week after a couple of games off the bench, and then starting. And then I just started getting a bit of match fitness slowly, and then mate just hit the ground running. And I loved it. Really enjoyed it.
What's been the biggest change? Obviously, like. You just started going out with Danica from Channel. Well, how long have you been with her now?
Almost 2 years now.
2 years.
Yeah, so it was about a year at the time. So
what was that conversation like? Hey,
Yeah, mate. We were on a trip. down the south. We were on a little trip down the south coast, and I get a call. I'm on the phone. Look serious. Got off the phone. I was like, I might go to England. Hey, she's like, she was just super supportive. Like,
because
it's amazing.
Your career,
Yeah, for sure. And like, obviously. Didn't get to have a lot of chats. She was about to go to Vegas for the rugby, the season opener kind of thing. And so she left the next day. And then I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to go or when I was going to go, maybe a week later or whatever. So she left next day. And then that night or whatever, I got a call, hey, I'm actually going to go tomorrow. And she's like, oh, wow, I don't get to really say goodbye. So it was just great. Then obviously next couple of weeks it was, chats and that kind of stuff when I was already over there. But it was just a whirlwind. Like it was a wild time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at, rugby league and you look at your career, there's obviously a lot of personal growth that you've had to go through. In life, there's always like a lot of challenges, and like when this gym was shut down for 7 months after COVID, it was absolutely during COVID it was absolutely challenging, and I had the media on me. I had so much shit, and there was points where your career, we go, mate, this is it for me. I'm going to make a media announcement. I was kind of at those crossroads as well. Yeah.
You almost pulled it?
Yeah, we're very close. For me, it was a little bit different. I went to one of the marches and someone took a photo of me and they said I'm anti-vax, which I wasn't, which I don't really I don't really care about anyway.
At the time, it was
close.
You were Hitler if you
I
didn't get a vaccine.
actually went there to open the business back up.
Yeah.
But anyway, the newspaper got it. I was on the third page of the Daily Telegraph.
Really?
Lost half our members. Facebook was coming after me.
The
I only
Facebook
had four workers plus me, Rehab in the gym. And I remember guy rings me, he goes, mate, Ray Hadley's just hammering you. I said, Ray Hadley? I go, what the fuck for? He goes, mate, he's saying no one should go to your gym. So I'm thinking just the newspaper. I found out 3 weeks before that they were going to put me in there, and then we're having a chat to him and said, you can't do this, can't do that, so we've got a photo of you. So it was all speculative, right?
Yeah. Just because of what? You went to a march?
I went to a march, yeah. But they wanted to use that as Mets as anti-vax. So they used that story that I'm anti-vax.
That's so weird.
And so I had to look, and it was hard because my solicitor at the time goes, I think they're lying, I think they're bluffing you, that they've got a photo of you. He goes, there's no way they're going to do it. Anyway, 30 minutes later, they sent the photo of me from the march that was like months and months before. So it was hard, through those, you start to question everything that you've done throughout your whole life. Yeah. And, that's why, when I look at rugby league and look, for me, what the turning point was, and I'll be honest with you, it was like my daughters were going to school and I could see the pressure on their faces because the kids were talking. For me, it was like, I can handle pressure, and I never forget Madge was coming to the gym at the time, and he goes, "Mate, we've got your back." You know, Chimes was here, Bob McCarthy, like the good people always had your back.
You figure out who's there, who's not when you're going through tough times.
Yeah, even, and I'll tell you a story, and I've said this a few times on the podcast, but Ty would turn around, Tyron Smith, and he goes, "Mate, what do you need from me? Do you need money? What do you need?" I said, "Mate, I'm sweet." He goes, "Mate, are you sure you don't need anything, bro?" Because he goes, "I know what these people are like, right?" So it becomes, at that point, you start to question yourself. You start to question your own identity. So you go, well, what is my identity? And the reason I ask is because when we're transitioning from club to club and we're going, fuck, what am I, a journeyman? What am I, a play rugby league? What am I going for? And it's the same with like when we were with Tim, and you know, when us men talk, and I go, "Tim, I got your boys, man. What do they need?" You know, and it's very, very important, especially when you're supporting each other, you know, as mates. And there's not many of them. Right?
No, for sure.
And so when you're going through that, and that's why going back to like your dad wasn't around, your mum left early. What are some of the things that you've had to tackle with? Because like I know with myself, I've had to almost reinvent myself so many times. And I'm 49 this year. Yeah. And it's almost like as an individual, you have to, if you don't have a purpose, it just makes it a little bit harder. Yeah. And 100%. I found that I feel like me developing myself, I feel like I've got more purpose.
I feel like, especially as men, we need a purpose. Like we'll do anything, if we're aiming at something, we'll do anything to get there, and that just keeps us, when that gets taken away, it's when I think you see a lot of young men struggle, drugs, addiction, that kind of stuff. They get lost, they get unhappy there, whatever's happening. For me, Mike, when you say identity, like the thing that's probably saved the trajectory of my life was rugby league. Like, again, the depths of, growing up, it was chaotic, would be like a light way to say things, how it happened. And then I was good at rugby league. I'm like, well, that was like my saviour on the weekends. Everything like training, footy, everything like growing up. I was good at it, so I loved it, and that was like my North Star forever. So my whole identity probably grew up with, I'm a rugby league player, rugby league is me, and that was it. And it pushed me a long way. Like I rose through the juniors and stuff, and then lived out my dream, played NRL, kept playing NRL, and a few hiccups in between because I got a bit lost, as you do, like I did anyway, like, the roller coaster of my life. But hit a point where when I did my knee, I'd just gone through a couple big surgeries and come back, and I rehabbed like just crazy. Like I had 3 back-to-backs, 3 surgeries in 3 weeks. Wow. And then got back to, I was playing all right, boom, cannonball knee. And I remember just sitting there and I didn't know at the time, I had all these trauma pushed down and everything. I'm like, my whole identity was rugby league, and as soon as that was taken away, I knew my knee was like the catalyst, because knee's 9 months, like everything else, you can start training soon and everything, come back and whatever, but 9 months, and that at the time I was like pretty fragile mentally after all that injury stuff, and I was just like, well, who am I? What do I do outside of rugby league? I had no idea, and I struggled. The first couple of months, I just my coping mechanisms, my habits were poor, partying and escapism, all that kind of stuff, because I just didn't know who I was without rugby league. I didn't know who I was or what I was doing, and at the time I had no idea, no direction. And as soon as that got taken away, it was like everything shifted, and I was just lost completely. So I had to, with that, like the gift of my injury, like, it's actually the biggest gift I've ever received in the week. Like obviously you look at, thank God I got injured. Like I just went rock bottom, boom. And then I just went like I had to figure out what I was going to do and who I am outside of the game. Otherwise, like, the option was like capitulation. Like because I was capitulating at the time, but I still had a contract for another year. And then, so I still had income and I had a support network, and then I was forced to look at myself and who I am without it. And if it wasn't for this, I don't know if I just kept teetering along and then fell out of the game and then just capitulated afterwards. But through that, like you said, reflection, the things you look at yourself, you have to sit with yourself. I ended up in rehab. So that was the ultimate, like this is obviously not a place I ever thought I'd be. From that, I had to rebound, and I don't drink anymore.
When did you stop that?
3 years ago. 3 years ago. After 2 years, I thought that I could, I'm all right, everything's sweet now, I start drinking again, and my life gets messy. I'm not, some people can do it, I don't really function that well, like things get, habits slip, and it's just not for me, so I stopped drinking again.
Love it, yeah.
Won't be for me, and my life's cleaner, I'm a better person all the time, I'm clear-headed, I do everything I want to do, and that was the big learning curve from all that, like that's the biggest probably growth I've gone through that period.
you have to hit some sort of rock bottom, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times, you know, I used to tackle with this because I had tight and fitness for 27 years.
Yeah.
And at a point, I was like, you know, I never forget when I first took over the gym. I was in my early 30s, like when we had it, and I used to walk in and going, fuck, man, this place is a bit big. Like, I go, am I really worthy of this?
Yeah.
You start to question whether you're worthy of it. And then,
what do they call that? Imposter syndrome.
It was that, but then what I realised was, I go, fuck, I have to develop myself.
You are?
I have to develop myself. I have to develop, you know, leadership skills. I have to develop, you know, understanding myself first before I can understand others that are working for me.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's been constant and continuous. And
for sure.
Like a lot of the times I'll walk away and I'll reflect. And I've had, like, you can imagine over 27 years how many problems you're going to come across.
100%.
Like, and, you know, and at each point, it was this continuous, like, reflection. How can I get better? What kind of value can I add? And if you don't start to do that and live with, and that's where the purpose comes, right?
Yeah.
That's where the purpose comes. And I try and tell everyone, like, I go, like, what I went through, I was almost like thrown in the deep end, and I just had to learn. I had to learn. And sometimes there's rock bottoms within that because you don't have the tools to get out.
Yeah.
There's tools out there, but a lot of the times I had to understand, like, fuck, what are those? And if I start again with these new tools, what if I fail again? Because now I've got these new tools, and say my confidence gets up and I'm winning, and then I lose again.
Yeah.
What do I do now?
Yeah.
And then it got to a point where I go, you know what? If I just reflect on this, I can figure it out. And if there's a problem, I go, all it needs is a solution at each point.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And that's when you build the resilience. Yeah. Like obviously, I was so lucky to be in a high performance environment of rugby league myself. Like, you get injured. And then your mind just straight away goes, okay, I've got to do this, and this to get back to this. It's not, you know, you feel sorry for yourself for a day, be upset, whatever, boom. This is the plan. And your mind just starts thinking, like, what do I got to do next? Okay, yeah, this is shit. This is hard. Boom, what next? How do I get to there? I got to get back to that. So that's like, that becomes a habit, you know, like, so I feel a lot of people, in our world, like your business world, like, it's obviously hard and the challenges, you just continually get to build that resilience over and over again. You don't get to like, there's not a week that will go by, I'm guessing, like, oh, this has been sweet, everything's perfect.
Hardly ever.
Ever, yeah. Like, and you get niggles in rugby, obviously you lose a game. It's constant, like, it's reflection always. Every week you have a game, everyone you're forced to reflect because the coaches are spraying you. And you're like, how am I going to get better? How am I going to do this? Yeah. So that environment where I was been in for so long, it's been the biggest gift because of that exact reason. Like, you're just continuously learning, forced to learn, forced to get better, or you drop out, you lose. Yeah.
And rehab, like, what was that like? Like, you see, you're going in there, and you're probably seeing other people that have gone through some sort of journey in there as well, and sometimes I always say to people, like, the starting point is, like, fuck, just understand that there's been a lot of people in your position before. Yeah. And there's going to be more people in your position again. Because
I think that's the thing, when you isolate yourself and escaping from, like, whatever's going on, you think, like, fuck, I'm the only one going through it. Or, like, I don't know what happens. But then, you see other people, talk to other people, it's not... Like, probably, how many people you know has been in rehab? I know heaps.
Oh, heaps, man.
Heaps. Like, and it's like, but at the time you're like, no, like, I don't need help, you know, I don't know if the ego takes over. You're like, man, I'm not going to talk about it, that's weak, or whatever the bullshit is that covers over your problems. But then you stay in this place where it's like, you're unhappy and, like, you're dangerous to yourself. I don't know what you're doing, like what I was doing. And, like, if I open up sooner, it would have been easier. Yeah. Start, addressing the issues instead of, painting over them with drinking or whatever else. Yeah. But obviously everything's got to happen the way it happens, and then you either rebound or you stay there. Like, I went to rehab with a few guys, and mostly everyone's sort of relapse, and it's a big relapse rate.
The relapse is very high, isn't it? Like, very high. Like, apparently you're in a room at 30. 1%. 1%.
1% stay sober.
Yeah, how have you been so successful in the last 3 years? Like, were you going in there going, I'm not going to be this? Like, I'm not going to be part of the statistic that doesn't make it out?
No, to be fair, I went in there with the mindset like, okay, I'm going to go in there, get on top of things so I know how to party. Like, it was...
Yeah. So you wanted to have control over
the party. I can control it. Then it's like, I don't have that. Like, I'm not one of those guys that have that, like, on and off switch. Like, the first time sweet, and then things just slip slowly. I thought, like, I'm like, okay, how am I going to go in here, address some issues that I've never dealt with mentally, and then I'll be all right. Then I can party and everything be sweet. I can turn it off and on. That was and I think a lot of people go in there with that. But then I slowly realised when you start peeling back the layers of what's going on under the surface of my head and the way my brain and thoughts were, That's not really an option.
It's funny, but because you're a fun guy. Like, if I, when everyone was at Tim's, like, you're just a fun guy. It's like, you go, fuck, he doesn't look like he even needs it. You know what I mean?
I'm actually worse when I have heaps more fun sober. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, my personality changes.
Well,
that's what
I thought you had a drink before you came here because you're just like so upbeat.
Yeah. So my energy completely shifts. That's why, like, I remember Wayne said to me, he goes, mate, like, you don't need a drink. You're worse when you drink. Like, you're funner when you're sober.
That's right, yeah.
Because I think I get weird when I drink. Like, just chemical, I don't know what it is, chemically or... Yeah. Like, I can go out sober, I can have fun. I don't really like drunk people, so I got a limit on me, 2 or 3 hours until everyone starts, slipping down, and I just go home, go to bed, wake up fresh, train, rinse, repeat.
Fuck, I would have never thought you don't drink.
Yeah, I used to be pretty loose. I used to be pretty loose. Like, that's the thing. Everyone's like, "What do you mean you don't drink?" Like, especially, I stopped drinking when I was still playing, professional rugby league. I stopped drinking at South, and everyone was pretty. I knew everyone, so they knew what I went through. They were like, mate, like, we're here to support you. Went to the Dogs. They were like, a bit weird, like,
they were funny looking at you.
Went to England, mate. I was an alien. I was dead set, like, I was a unicorn, mate. Like, everyone, except there's one guy on my team who's religiously, like, he doesn't drink. Yeah. So everyone knows he's really religious, but everyone else, they're like, what do you mean you don't drink? Like, I'm like, I don't drink, mate. They're like, they train and they play and then they go to the pub. Like, they just love it, live and breathe it.
When you, like, obviously when they hear that, do you tell them the story of what you went through?
Oh, I brush over it a little bit. Like, it's a bit of a...
You don't really want to get into it.
Nah, like, if people ask me questions, I'm not embarrassed.
Because you know why? Because you don't want it to be like you're down on it. Like,
nah,
you're actually happy about
I'm
it.
happy. Like, everyone's like, people start... There's a couple of things that happen when I say I don't drink. Someone's like, I don't drink that much. And it's like, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, not much. I don't want to, like, say I'm drinking. I'm like, I love everyone having a good time. Like, I'll have a good time. And, like, I don't know, people just have strange reactions. It's sort of funny to see the reactions. They're like... I choose when I live my life. I'm like, my mates drink, my girlfriend drinks. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not have to hide away.
You're not there to judge anyone, but this is what serves me.
100%. Like, you live your life exactly how you want to live your life. Like, I'm not here to like, I don't drink. I'm better than you. I'm like, I'm not better than anyone or worse than anyone. I'm like, I choose my life because it works for me, and like, it doesn't if I did that. So everything else is you do what you want. Yeah. But it's interesting reactions, bro. It's pretty funny when I say I don't drink.
No, I know a lot of people that don't drink either. I know a lot of people that don't drink, and I just feel like there's some people that shouldn't drink. You know what I mean? Like, I just...
I know heaps.
I can get a bit loose, but I'm all right. I can get back on track.
There's so many people that should never do it, and they just keep doing it, and they just repeat the cycle. And I'm like, mate, the cycle,
Yeah, no, it's good, mate. Now you're playing in England. What's your mental approach there now? Like, do you think? Let me ask you this question. Is this, like, England, is this the final chapter, or you think there's more chapters to leave?
Nah, there's another chapter. I want to come back in the NRL.
Really?
I want to play in the NRL, yeah. I love over there. Like, I love playing footy, the crowds are hectic, the fans are cool. It's good quality football. I'm there to win. I went there to win. I'm not there on a holiday. I was like, I'm over here, like, doing long distance, missing everyone at home, my girlfriend, everything. I'm like, I'm not here to muck around. I want to make a difference. I want to be a leader. Like, that's what I'm there for. I'm not going to, establish some leadership qualities and win games, and then I want to come back in the NRL.
Wow.
That's what I want. So that's what's driving me.
That's huge. Like, you're at the point where you're about to retire.
Yeah.
Now you got a whole new lease of life.
Yeah.
Like, you got a complete different motivation. You getting that Hull FC, did it give you a lot more time to reflect on, man, this is not it now. This is igniting the fire again.
100%. And then once I thought I lost it, like, right? I always I thought I lost the career, like it was done. So I went over there, I was like reflecting a lot on, like, I wasn't even saying I was sitting in regret. I was just like, all those things that, like, you could have done better, and what can I do better now? And it just, like, it goes so quick. So, like, that's my other motivation is, like, I kind of want to waste a day. I almost lost it. I almost finished my career. A lot of times when you're young, I feel, I trained hard, but then, out away from footy, make some other choices. Like, I tighten that up. Obviously, I don't drink now, but so I just look at things differently now. Like, it's gone. Like, I feel like, honestly, I started my career, like, everyone says the same. When you're 21, you hear the older players, like, mate, boys, it goes so quick, and you're like, you can't really comprehend it, like 10 years, whatever. And you see people get injured and they're gone, their career's done, and then I'm at my stage, I'm 30, I probably got, 3 or 4 years left in me. See how we go, but it goes so quick. So I don't want to waste any day, like any session, anything like that.
When you get, like, I'm turning 49 in December, but when you get to that age, they say something like you got 26 summers left.
Oh no, that, mate. That's wild.
So, I'm sitting with my daughter and she goes, Dad, you don't want to do this in the business and blah, blah, blah. And I go, mate, fuck, you're about to turn 19, mate.
Yeah.
You're telling me what you want to do. I know what you want to do.
Yeah.
But first do A, B, and C first.
Yeah,
and then I sort of gave it a run. I go, let me just tell you what I work on right now.
Yeah.
And I did, and we had this conversation. It was actually good. It was necessary. It was necessary because I wanted her to understand more about the business. And then she turned around. She goes, "You're 49. How many more years do you think you got left?" I started looking. I go, "Mate, at least 70 minimum." Then I think about Wayne Bennett, probably 80. But you know, like I've almost
can't
now,
stop, eh? Like you won't stop.
Well, you know what's funny, Lily? I mean, I was 21. I thought like, fuck, 40. I'm gonna 45. I'm gonna retire. But now I've kind of reverse engineered, you know, my life till about 70. And I found like, I done a retreat last year and Tyron Smith actually came. He's actually taken his boys to Thailand in November. And he said to me, mate, you should come and I might go. But he came with me and we were training every day with every single person. I was coaching everyone and training 3 times a day.
3 times a day?
3 times a day, bro. Like, bro, yeah. And what we do, we bash each other, like we do a weight session, a cardio-based HIIT session, and then the boys will want to do another session. So you do recovery in between and you eat together. Yeah. So every time we were doing it.
Is that in Thailand?
In Thailand.
Yeah, unbelievable.
What would happen is like they go, oh, fuck, and then an hour later they're eating and recovering. They go, mate, you reckon we'll do another session? Yeah. So it was like, it just came natural. And then there was a day we moved to this other hotel. It was a beautiful hotel. And I had Tina, she does spin classes. Yeah. That hotel, they had a spin room. And I never forget, like Tyron's in there first time doing spin, and a few of the boys was their first time. You know, Thailand's 40 degrees, so it's really hot.
It's mad training.
And so she didn't hit the aircon in the room, and there's no windows. And I've never seen people sweat. And I go, Tina, why don't you just turn the aircon? I go, mate, these are 40 degree rooms, mate. I'm not doing bloody Bikram yoga. She goes, oh, but you can't turn the aircon. And I just went, bing, fucking turned on. And you're going to sweat anyway with the aircon on.
100%.
And everyone was drenched. But there's the hotel at a pool, and then Tyron goes, bro, let's walk up this mountain. It's really high. Yeah. I go, bro, we just done weights, spin, and now we're walking up a mountain. And it was just so good.
Mountain?
It was this massive hill.
Was it to the Buddha?
It wasn't to the Buddha. This was a different. It was right next to that. We're staying at the Stay Fit and Wellbeing Resort.
I did that Buddha run when I was there.
Oh man, that's
I almost lost my life on that run.
Because of the cars or the sweat?
No, like I almost passed out.
How hard
it's
is
that
it,
steep, bro. Like you're running and like you can touch the ground because it's that at certain levels, and like it was, oh mate, it was wild.
It was unbelievable. Yeah, that's and what was good about it was, and it was all men too, and like obviously Tina, she's one of my instructors, but she knew all the boys, and so it was good because the boys were like, you know, she understood the boys and the boys understood her.
That's good, yeah.
But what was great about it was we were all challenging each other.
Yeah,
you know, and you know, like there's younger guys, there's guys my age, and I feel like when you can sweat with men and you can eat with them, you can talk about your problems 100%. And they don't feel like problems. They don't feel like problems. So that's one of the things that, you know, like being around rugby league and just seeing men, I said, geez, now technology is going to allow us to create this for men. Yeah. Where they can, and it's simple, but like we eat, we train, we sweat, we have a laugh, and we just talk about our problems. And sometimes it's the problem is not the problem. It's just that men are accepting each other.
Yeah, for sure.
And what they've gone through. And I think, you know, it's hard. Like there's all these groups, but there's none of these proper training groups to go through that physicality and feel that.
For sure.
And sometimes it's better like that because we're just eating clean food, but it just lets down the guards.
Yeah. Well, then train together, so it's a different level of connection. I don't know, you train with someone that you push yourself, you know, like you're struggling, like, come on, Matt, let's go, bro. You help me out, and finish and you're eating a meal. It's just like that, the different layer of connection. It is. I played footy with a guy for 1 season. Yeah. Like, knew each other for 9 months. Best, we've been my friend for life. Like, we went through a lot of on-field stuff, push and train. We had a bit off-field stuff as well, which obviously adds another layer to the connection. But, like, you know, when you train that hard in the environment of rugby league, like it lets a lot of guard down, and you get to know each other quick because you sort of have to, and you're with each other in that. Say you're eating meals, you're ripping in, you're training hard, you're flogging yourself, and then it's like, I don't know, it's just a different level of connection.
Is that at Hull?
No, that was at South.
South, okay.
My first year at South.
Who was the player?
Big Georgie Burgess.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like we only played one season together.
He's a nice guy, George.
Yeah, he led, like friends for life. Like I only had one season with him.
And it's funny, it's just actually that simple.
It's actually
connecting
that simple.
is just that simple.
Yeah, for sure.
And
but connection, I don't know, as men, you feel like people struggle with connection.
Big time. Because
it's surface, a lot of shit surface level, you know, like, how you going? It's all small talk. Fuck, I hate small talk. It makes me uncomfortable, small talk. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather have, like, these conversations are mad.
The ones that, like, and I, you know, even when I was here sitting with Minnie, you know, when I talked to Tyron, people don't like, they almost get scared of that. It's like, oh man, you're bringing up demons, man. Like, fuck, who gives a fuck? It's just a fucking story, bro. Like, you know, we go through these stories. It's funny because I've got the Evolt machine upstairs, and Ed that owns the CEO of the company, he was in year 12 when I was in year 7. And he goes, Meds, do you remember coming to that school? I said, yeah. I go, mate, you guys knocked out the principal. I go, I got excited. I said, I've come from East Lakes. I go, that's mad. You can fight here and not get expelled. I go, mate, the school was crazy. He goes, mate, he goes, the ones before us were crazier as well. But we just had a community. And it wasn't, I'm not saying, I don't condone that. But I felt like we were like street kids and there was a place for us.
Come together,
There was a place for us. And it was, the times were different. I'm talking, you know, 1989 to 1994. But that's what it was like. Because a lot of the times, I was kind of glad I went to that school. That school's closing down now and it's amalgamating with the girls because it's come down to nothing. But I was kind of glad because when I came from the school I came from, it was like, where am I going to fit in? You know, where am I going to fit in? And a lot of the times, you know, when we talk like just surface level, well, how the hell are we going to understand each other?
No idea.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no way.
It's hard to mimic that. I think that's why footy players and athletes struggle so much. And when they finish footy, like obviously you go through, you miss the thing you've always like, you've aimed, that's your purpose for whatever, for 10 years, whatever. But they're also like, you come to train every day with your mates. You're hanging out, you talk shit, the band is funny as, then you rip in, you get back off, you do the same thing, rip in again, on repeat. And the environment is so conducive and addictive because it's like, you know, all your mates and you get to talk and whatever, you develop those relationships. And all of a sudden, when I stopped going into a rugby league world, when I had that time out, I was like, it feels so much lonely. That's the real world though. But I was so used to this world of, you know, camaraderie and 20 guys, 30 people going to lunch, you know, here, playing, training. It's hard to emulate the real world. Like, you know, you got your mates you train with and that. And a lot of people don't. They go train by themselves. And I think, I don't know, people feel lonely and that kind of stuff. It's hard to mimic that in the real world.
It is. And I think, you know, if you look at how we flourish and how we've always flourished, you can go like thousands of years back. We flourished in communities.
Small communities.
You know,
like
they
close
were
connection,
farming, they were
family
eating together,
around,
and family, you know what I mean?
Small knit. Now it's obviously everything's separated. And
like I had people at a retreat, they were all from all different parts. And then we'd finish it and they go, mate, what do we do now, mates?
Yeah.
And I go, fuck me, Dad, I've got to figure this out.
Yeah, now what?
Yeah. You know, and part of what I'm doing and a lot of the work that I'm putting in is about facilitating those communities. Like, and it's been one of those things that's like, you know, you get an itch, right? And you go, fuck, man, I'm just talking to that guy. I can actually figure it out, but I don't have time.
Yeah.
And I had this great conversation with a person, you know, a couple of weeks ago. And then they were going, well, is there a place for these people? And I said, mate, I'm going to create it, but I need, you know, I'm so invested in the work sometimes. I go, do you know the only thing money does? It gives you time, right?
Yeah.
And I go, what do I love doing the most? I go, I got into the fitness industry because I was training in a gym as a 13-year-old because it was my sanctuary. I loved it. Like, you go in there, you sweat. And I was doing it a little bit on my own at the start because I was like 13, like which 13-year-old is going to be training?
Yeah.
And what I realised was that now there's communities in there. And each community is a little bit different. They are. So even communities within communities, you know, aren't quite all the same, but when everyone's doing the same thing, they start to connect more.
Yeah.
They start to go, fuck, you know what? We're doing all this together. I didn't think I'd connect with them, but now we're connecting, right?
Yeah.
And that's not just, I'm just making an analogy for that, but a lot of the times, you know, sometimes, you know, in life, you go, fuck, all right, Liam's finished playing rugby league. Is anyone going to talk to him? Metz is not Titan anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we become this identity almost.
For sure, yeah.
And And a lot of the times people go, fuck, if I lose this, who am I?
Yeah.
And
so they pull away. They pull away because a lot of people think
man.
because, I just put my own experience. I pulled away because I was like, I'm not playing footy. People probably won't want to talk to me because that's in my head. That's all I am. I'm a footy player. I'm the footy player. So you pull away from your mates, you pull away from this, and then I'm like, what the hell? Like, I love being around people. I love my mates, but like, it's like subconscious. You don't really understand what's happening until you understand what's happening. It takes a while to get there.
It does,
it's
man.
such a strange thing. Identity is so important.
It is.
Especially like, I don't know, people. I talk to mates that are sort of not at the end of their career, getting towards the end, like. After 25, they're like, they don't know what they're going to do after footy, and then they get injured, and like they struggle. Like, what are we doing? Like, if I'm not playing footy, who am I? It's the same question.
Yeah.
I reckon everyone asks it at some point, asking that question. Obviously, people are better off mentally than others and financially than others, so they're not forced into having to run around and get money or whatever. But it's definitely a question you have to figure out, like through your career. Who am I outside of this game, outside of this business, and that kind of stuff. It's so important.
Yeah, man, it's so important, man. Like I even tackle with it sometimes because I go, fuck, if I get to 70 and I'm not doing this, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, just say I get to that, I get to that number. What am I doing? Who am I? Like, am I going to be able to switch off and I'm building this character now.
Yeah.
As I'm building this character, what's this character going to be?
Yeah.
And so, I watched this thing, and the guy's name was Ray Dalio, and he actually draws this arc. And in that arc, it's got like your schooling and everything that happens.
Yeah, hedge fund guy.
Up here, yeah, that's right, for hedge fund. The book's principles, and then up the top of this arc, he's got everything that can go wrong in your life.
Yeah.
And then down this side of the arc is, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
This is the final part.
Yeah.
But it was quite interesting because at each point, and that's why I say reflection, he went back in to reflect. So every time, and then the guy goes to him, so can I tell you like what happened at this point here? He goes, my son died. And then the guy just stopped. He goes, what did you do? He goes, well, it was hard because I wanted my life to go and his life to come back.
Yeah.
That was the first point of reflection. And it's interesting because I just love watching that because I want to understand myself better. I want to continue to understand myself better at this next level and this next level. But so, you're talking about your mates and what are they going to do? You go, you know what, mates, I've reignited this passion again, this fire to play rugby league. I'm going to come back to Oz and I'm going to go again. What are some of your leadership and your future goals that you're looking for? Or can you see that? Like, because what's interesting is like it feels like the fire's back now to keep playing. And
that was the hardest part. Everyone, like I think ever like a lot of people, what are you doing after footy? And it's like, at a certain point, I just went, I don't know, because like when this is my number one thing I'm doing. Like I'm not really. It took me a while to start planning or start putting things in place. I'm like, I'm so obsessed with this. How do I plan something after the number one thing I want to do? This is my goal and my purpose, which is what I thought at the time. How do I put things in place? So like, I don't want to do anything else besides this. I got to train for this. My mental preparation all day, every day is around this. Like, a bit of free time here and there. But now I feel free in the sense like it's weird. Like I don't really care if I play rugby league. I want to do it. Like I know, and that's my goal now. Come back and play in a run. But if I don't, I'm okay. I'm not like so pent up. That's all I can do. I've got something else lined up outside of footy. I've got a few things I can do, but like I love this and that, and it takes away the anxiety of like, I think I obsessed too much like at a certain point, 25, 26, maybe 27. I had nothing else. So like this was my only thing. So I was like, like trying to strangle something that like, oh, this is it. I got to keep this going. And it actually became less enjoyable because I was so beholden to it. And I lost the love for it a little bit because it was like, it was everything and it became everything and I had nothing else. But now leadership wise, like I just want to set an example. And I think I've had such a turbulent and chaotic career and life. Like I feel like I've got a lot of lessons to pass down, but mainly through actions. I feel like I've seen a lot of poor leadership. I've seen good leadership. So lead from the front, not really push any of my shit. If anyone wants to ask questions or I can always chime in here and there, but just want to every day, like, my good habits, my own behaviours, and then model that for anyone else around me, like young boys in my team and that kind of stuff. And even friends in life.
Yeah. What's great about your whole life as well is like, and I commend you on this, is like you knew that alcohol wasn't for you and you quit
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people just in that one area.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's hard because everyone thinks they're gonna not enjoy life, or you know, life's over. And you know, that's why I take my hat off to you, because I think it's a huge step for you, because you understand yourself. My question here is like, you know, I was talking about Ray Dalio and his book. You've read a few books. That means you've done a lot of work on yourself.
Yeah, it wasn't enough just to stop drinking. Like I had some deep-seated trauma issues and stuff that I'd never had to deal with, because like, you know, you get to a certain age and you cruise through, and rugby league paint over stuff, and then drinking was that. But then obviously underneath it was like, I knew some stuff was going on. I had a lot of childhood stuff, you know, trauma stuff that I hadn't dealt with. So stop drinking was the first step, but then I had to actually do the work. I read a lot of books. I went through, like, I did a lot of like trauma therapy. Obviously ended up in rehab. That was a bit of a reflection piece, but a lot of therapy and that kind of stuff to process and create the awareness about why things happen, and work through all that. That was the hardest part. The not drinking was the easy part, to be honest. But once I did that, I had to do all the other stuff.
Who in rugby league, obviously there's a lot of, you know, systems they got therapists there. What were some of the things that they made you think about?
I found my own therapist.
Did you?
Yeah. I didn't go through the rugby league ones.
That's good.
The welfare in rugby league feels like it's a box tick.
Oh, okay.
I don't think the clubs.
How did you find your own? Because that's not easy to find the right one. Did you?
I knew, because I was in so much trouble when I was younger, right? I went to rehab when I was 18.
Yeah.
And I actually forgot that until I was in rehab again. Because I would drink, I'd just be like, I'm just a mess. Like, I don't know, drinking on Mondays, like, just so like, you know, all over the place.
Yeah.
But no one was pulling me up outside. Like, lucky I had football, because, man, I was just, like I said, people that I knew back then, they're like, what do you mean you don't drink? Like, I was a mess, mate. I was all over the place. So I went to rehab then, and the condition, mainly gave me a condition when I got out, like either I have to work with this one addiction specialist. But back then I was so young, like I just didn't get it, and I didn't want to get it. I was like, I'm 18, like I'm drinking, everyone drinks. Like, all my mates are drinking. They weren't playing footy, but anyway, I met this lady then, her name was Chantal, and then 10 years later, when I got out of rehab, she just messaged me out of the blue, like completely unrelated. How you going? Like, I know it's been a long time. I'm in Sydney if you want to catch up for a coffee. And I was like, I just thought it was like divine intervention. Like, I follow her on Instagram. I see her all the stuff. And I feel like she was like this different tier of like therapy, addiction specialist, that kind of stuff. And then I met her for a coffee, and she's like, so what have you been up to? And I'm like, well, funnily enough, I just got out of rehab. Like, you know, we did a work together when I was 18, 19, and then in between that, like, so much happened. Like, and she's like, like, she's a trauma therapist and addiction specialist, all that kind of stuff. And she's like, would you like to work together? And I was like, well, yeah, let's do it. And that was like out of the blue. It wasn't nothing. Yeah. And I just started working with her. And she changed my life. Yeah.
Because, you know, what I love about you, like, I'm talking to you now, and you know, I could almost visualise in the pictures of what that timeline was like from 18. And you can see how much you've probably taken control. I can see it. I can feel it from the development that you've done on yourself.
For sure.
And it does take a lot of work.
It does.
You know what I mean? Like, people, like, you're making it sound...
Mate, no, it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Like,
but I'm telling you, it does take a lot of work.
And I talk about it because you talk about it in a way I'm not trying to be like, guys, like, it is actually, you know, to sit with yourself and actually do that shit. I remember, like, mate, it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Like, nothing comes close to having to sit with your own stuff, face your demons front on, like, feel the emotion that you've always tried to push away, like cry, you know, anger, whatever it is, all that stuff I had to do. But that was the only way for me. I feel like my life was spiraling.
It's funny, like, I was doing a podcast with Luke Kennedy, who's, you know, talks. He came from boxing, Newtown, went through a lot himself, and now he speaks in front of of a lot of people. And I said, mate, what are you doing next? He goes, mate, I'm buying a church. Really? And he's living in casino. This casino, lovely guy, man, lovely guy. Anyway. He turned it around, then he goes, so fuck, Mets, what have you been through? But he said it in a nice way, like, he goes, tell me about you.
Yeah, tell me about you, yeah.
Anyway, it was funny, mate. I started crying because it was about my dad, and when my dad, you know, his final moments on earth.
Yeah.
And it's funny, mate, I just started crying. Like, it wasn't big, but it was, you know, every time I think about someone, I think about my dad's words. You know, he was tough. He wasn't like, he didn't show heaps of love, but, you know, his principles were fantastic.
Yeah.
But my dad wasn't perfect either.
Never are.
He wasn't like, not that he wasn't perfect for me, but he didn't have the perfect life.
Yeah.
He didn't have the perfect life, but he was, you know, like sometimes I used to get irritated by what he used to say, but I live off those principles. And I always try help people as much as I can. Yeah. I try and, like, with the time I've got, I go like, how can I be present enough for that individual, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not always easy. And sometimes I had to accept that, you know, you can't be there for everyone. And then I go, well, what program can I create that can help people that the entry level is free?
Yeah.
Then there's another level here, you know, we're going away. There's another level here. And I've always tackled with that because of, like, I go, mate, I didn't have, you know, it wasn't like I came from anything. I didn't come from money. If anything, like I was with my mum the other day, she goes, remember when we lived here? I go, fuck, mums, I remember how hard it was then.
Yeah,
what about here? I go, fuck.
Yeah,
looking at old photos, I go, geez, you know, like, geez, we have come a long way. She goes, do you ever, you know, are you thankful for that? I go, I'm thankful for it all the time. But I seem to move all the time without, like, sometimes going, hey, take a deep breath.
Yeah, you just run, and then...
Sometimes, man, like, you know, like and it's
the nature of the beast. I mean, like, I don't know, I did that footy, just my analogy, because of my life I live, like, you know, you get a new contract and then you're like, you know, you're not actually sitting in that celebration, like, well, I've got to train hard, I've got to do this more. Always looking at what you can do next instead of, like, sitting and reflecting and go, like, you know what, like, where I am now, like, this is a moment that I dreamed of when I was 15.
That's why I love doing the podcast.
Yeah, like,
because when I'm having conversations with anyone, like the boys,
go back a little bit. Yeah,
like I'm reflecting more.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, you know, even now, I'm like, I always wanted to go to the Super League, and it felt, at the time, it felt like a bit of a demotion because obviously NRL was always my number one goal. But I was in the Super League. I'm going like, I always wanted to come to play in England. I'm now in England. Like, I dreamt about this moment, thought about this moment all the time. Play NRL for X amount of time, and that obviously didn't go how I thought it was going to go. Played more games, whatever. Injuries chopped me up a bit, but then I'm in the Super League. Like, it's actually amazing. Like, I always wanted to be here. I'm on the other side of the world playing footy. I get to travel. I get to play rugby league in another country. So little things like that. Like, I was always so geared to look for what's next. I can do this, then, and that, and then, like, but actually being able to sit and be like, you know what? Especially when you're going through tough shit, you're like, far out. Like, I've done this before, you know, like, and then all these other things have, you know, sort of geared me for this, and just reflect, like, it's not that bad. Nothing's really that bad if you let it be, like, just what it is. Not put a narrative on it and a different emotion. Just let it sit and be like, you know, it's gonna pass. Like, good times pass, bad times pass. Keep going. It's the same shit. Yeah. But that comes with obviously going through that kind of stuff. For me, anyway, when you're young, you know, something bad happens, you're like, it's the worst thing ever. And then, like, that happens 1,000 more times in the next 12 months. But
you can tell how much work you've done on yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Which is cool because, you know, and like you said, when you're young, it's like it's the end of the world.
It's the worst
end of the world.
Yeah,
and how many times can it happen? And it happens 1,000 more times. Yeah. And I guess that teaches you resilience. It teaches you reflection. Yeah. It teaches you, you know, how to, you know, change the compass, you know, change the, you know, part of what is going to get you to the North Star, because it's not like, you know, it's like getting on an aeroplane going from here to LA. There's going to be turbulence. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same track to get there. So it's never going to be exactly how you want it. You don't know what the conditions are going to do out there.
No way. You change the process of it all. I feel like obviously I was always aiming, you know, I want to play State of Origin. I had all these big goals and then no process in between. So I just had to focus more on the process of life and, like, up early, diet, train, you know, like read. These little things that, like, just keep moving the needle every day. And like, I used to be like, eat extremely clean for like 6 weeks and then party all weekend. And then, like, oh, I'm gonna have 8 weeks off the drink and then have a massive weekend. And now obviously less extreme, but like every day, like, I'm in the off season now, but I'm training every day. I'm not like flogging myself, but like, I don't need to, but I train every day, maybe twice a day. And even both sessions aren't massive. Insanely intense. I've got pre-season for that. And I have to read a whole book in a day, but just every day doing something that benefits my life, benefits me, like move the needle every day in a small way, just like forming good habits continuously.
Yeah, unbelievable, man. No, I love it, Liam. Fuck, just, that was good, mate. That part there where we just started get to understand you more and know you. Obviously, when you said, fuck, I came from Pilates, I was like in my head, I go, fuck, this guy is taking this seriously. Because I know when you're doing those little modalities, especially Pilates, getting those little smaller muscles stronger to help you with the bigger movements.
So important, man.
Which is, I love that.
So humbling, I was so shit.
Like when you came in here, you came in with a moon boot and, you got this like larrikin about you that's, and people can get it misconstrued on just the workings that you've done because you've got this huge frame but there's much more to it on the inside,
sure.
and so, I just
like anyone, how long, you don't really know people, like, you know what I mean? Like we've met a few times, but we don't really know each other until we sit down and have a real conversation. And there's obviously people who have a perception of everyone else because maybe art reputation or whatever it is, but like you sit down with someone, then you get to know who they are. But
it
like,
makes
I think people have an idea of who I am. No one really knows who I am except the people that know who I am, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, it's funny because like when you do, that's why I love doing podcasts. And sometimes like I'm busy. You double booked. I've double booked a million times.
Yeah. Sorry about that, man.
But it's good because it's like you reflect. It's almost like a speed date, and then we get to know each other on a different level.
100%.
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it's way better. Yeah, it's better.
Mate, I just want to thank you for coming along and. I didn't know what to expect. I expected to talk about rugby league, but the podcast is more about giving people tools. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know if enough people have heard your story on a podcast. Like, you can almost paint a picture of the inside.
Yeah.
But the tools, stopping drinking, getting the right therapy, going to rehab more than once. You never quit on yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Your rugby league career was almost over. You made it to England. Now you've reinvented yourself again. I think these are extremely important tools for any young player to understand. Hey, the stuff that you're going to go through when you're young, it ain't the end of the world.
Nothing.
There's going to be heaps more happening.
Everything has a silver lining. Even like my worst injury, I looked at like that was what I needed in life.
Yeah.
Like, without that, I would have just been teetering along. And so that's like the biggest I was so lucky to be around people with such strong mindsets. There's always something that's gonna. Your hardest moment, like it's the worst thing at the time, but like you look back and like, if I didn't go through
How
that,
was Toby? I was going to ask you about that because he's such a nice guy, Toby.
Yeah, he is.
He's like a no nonsense. No bullshit.
Great mindset.
What was he like during that time? Because he's been pretty close for a while.
Yeah, he'd been like really probably about one of my best mates for like I don't know how many years since I first moved here, 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
No, I always say Toby's like the best friend people can have. Like he's always there for you. He'll do anything for his mates. He has this. He's larrikin. He's loud and he's jovial, but he's really real. Like he's not. What you see is what you get. There's no bullshit. No, he's so genuine. But he's always there if you need him. For a chat or whatever. Like even if you don't want to talk, he reads the room well. Like just go talk shit, eat some food, don't ask any questions. Like you know what I mean. When you're going through he's a great friend. He's a great guy.
Yeah. No, it's awesome, man. I think it's important to have people like that. I had Toby on here, and he was funny. He was good, and you could. You know what's funny with Toby? You could actually see, this guy can read a room and he's very, very good at understanding. And
he's an outrageous individual, but like he is just such good value. He's the best.
And you can tell the teammates at when he scored that try for Cronulla, it was like they were so happy for Toby because he's that type of guy. He wants to bring the people together. He wants to bring the team
100%. He's
together.
the ultimate bring everyone together.
Yeah. No, it's awesome, mate.
He's great.
Man, I'm glad I met you at Tim's and obviously we've got another mutual friend, Christian. Down in Indigo.
Yeah. Good man.
But mate, it was awesome, man, and you made me definitely reflect.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for the chat. Appreciate you having me
in
on.
a good way. In a good way.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks a lot, bro.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks, brother.